RSPCA's 4 Paws Forward program aims to equip staff and volunteers with a consistent animal handling technique so everyone can work confidently and safely with all animals. This Level 1 training video covers the foundations of animal handling. Relatively inexperienced people should be able to safely handle easygoing dogs and cats once they fully understand and apply this Level 1 information. It's critical that we all handle animals in consistent ways that create positive experiences and a safe working environment for all. If we can achieve this, our animals will be less stressed and more likely to stay healthy and happy, and ultimately be adopted into a loving home. A shelter is usually a very stressful place for an animal, but what causes stress for one animal may not have the same effect on another. Stress is something that can build up, with many small incidences adding to the overall stress load. A useful analogy is to think of each small stressful incident as adding a candle flame under a pot of water. For instance, the mailman arrives and your dog gets excited. Then you take him for a walk, and on the walk, the neighbour's cat runs in front of you. Each candle can burn from 20 minutes to 6 days, so by the time you go to your afternoon vet visit, the pot may boil, and this is when your animal can behave in uncharacteristic or potentially dangerous ways, such as snapping at the vet. So it's important to minimise stress for our shelter animals as much as possible. How an animal is feeling will always be reflected in its body language. A relaxed animal carries itself differently to an animal that is stressed, but sometimes the signs of stress are subtle, and they can easily be missed or misinterpreted if you are not watching closely enough. When a dog feels socially stressed, it will react in one of 6 ways, depending on its basic nature, its life experiences, and the current situation. It may fight, run away, freeze, flirt, fidget, or shut down. Some of these reactions to stress are easy to detect, but others can be more subtle. The first step in effective handling is learning to read an animal's body language so you can detect early signs of stress and respond appropriately. You also have to read body language to know if it's safe to approach an animal. When an animal meets a new person, it can react in a way that is friendly, or uncertain, or not friendly, and it's important to pick the difference. Friendly animals may be confident, or they may be appeasing. Both dispositions are usually safe to approach. Uncertain animals can lean towards friendly, or they can lean towards unfriendly. Approach uncertain animals cautiously, and only proceed if you think they are leaning towards friendly. Unfriendly animals may be fearful or threatening. Either way, they are not safe to approach. Body language in dogs and cats is expressed through their whole body. Their eyes, ear position, tail position, forehead, mouth and body position all work together to communicate how they're feeling. Each body part on its own doesn't tell the full story. When a dog is relaxed, its features are neutral. The eyes are soft and open, the ears are neither forward nor backward, its forehead is smooth, the mouth will be relaxed, either partially open showing the tip of the tongue and canine teeth, or closed, and it will carry its tail in a relaxed position, which for most breeds is slightly lower than its back. This pup is relaxed, confident and friendly. Notice his eyes are soft, his body is relaxed, and his tail is wagging loosely. He looks eager to engage with the people at his cage. When a dog is not relaxed and feeling stressed, this can be expressed in many different ways. The key is to notice the subtle body language cues before they escalate and its pot boils over. Look out for any of these more subtle signs of social stress. These are a warning that you should reassess how you are interacting with the animal so you can help to reduce its stress. Molly is also friendly. Notice the loose, broad sweeping motion of her tail, which is carried slightly lower than the plane of her back. But also notice she is lip licking, she has her ears back, and she's occasionally looking sideways with whale eyes. These are subtle signs that Molly is stressed and not entirely relaxed. Here is another friendly dog showing subtle signs of stress. He's curving his body, his ears are back, and he's paw lifting and lip licking. This friendly dog is attempting to release his stress by shaking off. Sasha is friendly but anxious. She is pacing, restless, and lip licking. Boris is also friendly but stressed and showing this by pacing the kennel and panting. Here is a friendly, appeasing dog. She's wagging her tail, but curving her body, lowering her head, looking away, and occasionally lip licking, communicating that she's not comfortable. And Mango is another appeasing dog. He rolls over in submission and lifts his paws. This collie is stress panting on a cold winter's morning. Tamara is timid and trying to hide in her crate area. When you encounter any of these signs of stress, proceed cautiously. Consider how you could modify your approach to reduce the animal's stress. Fearful dogs can be dangerous. Their body is tense, their hackles may be raised, their eyes and facial muscles are hard, they avoid eye contact, and often their ears are back and their weight is back. The dog at the front of this pen is friendly, although a little uncertain, but the dog hanging back is fearful and uncertain. Her tail is low, her ears are back, she looks away and backs away. Do not attempt to interact with a dog like this. This dog is also fearful. Notice his ears are back and his weight is back, but he is leaning towards unfriendly or aggressive. A threatening dog is dangerous. They are confident, ears and tail are up, often hackles are up, their weight is carried forward and they may show their teeth, growl or bark. Do not attempt to approach these dogs. Cats also show how they are feeling through their body language, but usually the signs in cats are much more subtle than in dogs. A friendly cat will have its ears up and forward and its eyes will be relaxed with slit-like pupils indicating confidence and interest. Cats will blink to break a stare or indicate friendliness, and an erect tail pointing forward or a slow tail twitch are feline gestures of friendliness or interest. Jilly is playful and social and clearly wanting to interact with the person. Millie is also playful and social. Her ears are forward, her tail is up, and she is actively soliciting attention. When a cat is stressed, their pupils will dilate, they may flatten their ears, and their tail might twitch rapidly. These cats should be handled with caution as their behaviour may be unpredictable. Frank is timid. Notice his dilated pupils, his weight is low, and his ears are slightly flattened sideways. Max is also frightened. His ears are flat, his pupils are dilated, and he hides behind his litter tray. It's easy to see he looks worried. Cats that are overstimulated should also be handled with caution. Jagger is an aroused and overstimulated cat. Overexcitement causes him to mouth people, flick his tail, and forcefully bunt. As arousal increases, his ears go back and he might swipe or bite. If you are interacting with a cat that displays any of these behaviours, cease your interaction immediately and report the behaviour to a supervisor. When you intend to approach or interact with an unfamiliar animal, always follow these 6 steps. 1. Read all the signage on the animal's pen and ask for help if you are not sure if it's safe to interact. 2. Take the time to closely observe the animal's body language before you approach. Only attempt to approach an animal that appears friendly. 3. Check your own body language. Make sure you are relaxed and closely watching the animal, but not staring at it. 4. Continually monitor the animal's body language as you approach. Be aware that body language signs can change quickly, and animals differ in how quickly they escalate from calm to aroused. Take particular care around animals that appear to be unsure. They might react unpredictably to whatever is stressing them. 5. Approach slowly from an angle, side on, and offer the back of your hand, but allow the animal to come to you before attempting to touch it. Do not touch the top of the head first. In dogs, first touch the shoulder or chest. In cats, approach with a single finger and stroke under the chin. And finally, speak in a calm, low and friendly voice. Never put your face near an animal, rush in to pat an animal, bend over an animal, use a high-pitched baby voice that may cause arousal, or turn your back on an unknown animal. Training for our animals is critical. Having some basic manners makes an animal more adoptable and less likely to be returned, and it also provides our animals with mental stimulation that helps with boredom busting. It's one of the many ways that we can help them feel less stressed and enrich their lives while they're in our care. There are 5 basic skills that every dog should learn: sit, lie down, door and gate manners, walking on a loose lead, and crate training. Cats should also learn to be comfortable with being picked up and with being lured into a space such as a crate or a room. RSPCA uses positive reinforcement and negative punishment to train animals. Positive reinforcement means we encourage the behaviours we want by offering rewards, and negative punishment means we discourage unwanted behaviours by withholding rewards. A reward is anything an animal likes, such as attention, pats, praise, food, games, but be aware that animals differ in what they like. You need to discover which rewards an animal prefers to maximise the effectiveness of training. And be very careful you don't accidentally reward unwanted behaviours. This takes awareness and practice. At RSPCA, we don't use positive punishment or negative reinforcement to change animal behaviour. These methods include yelling, smacking, pushing an animal into position, or using a stern voice to stop a behaviour. Although these methods may produce an immediate response, they have been proven to be less effective for teaching and cementing good behaviour, and they're more stressful for the animals. To train our animals, we use 3 basic tools: marking, luring, and capturing. Marking is a cue that the animal has done the right thing. At RSPCA, we use the thumbs up sign, followed by the word yes. Mark and reward desired behaviours as each behaviour is offered. Practice is needed to see the behaviour coming and mark it as it happens. Luring uses food to entice an animal to act or move in desired ways. Where the nose goes, the body follows. So this is commonly used to teach commands such as sit or down. Usually, the smellier the treats, the better they work. When an animal performs the desired behaviour, they are rewarded with the treat. Capturing is when you notice a desired behaviour and reward that behaviour as soon as it happens. Capturing does not ask for the behaviour, but waits for the animal to initiate it themselves, which encourages them to choose that behaviour again. For training to be successful, the dog and the trainer need to be fully engaged in what they're doing. Dog training needs to start with what the dog already knows and then build on the skill, working on one element at a time. Dedicated training sessions should be short enough to keep the dog engaged the whole time, ending on a win. A dog's skills improve with time and practice. Skill building typically starts with using luring to elicit a desired behaviour, then progresses to pairing the behaviour with a command word. Once a dog understands the command word and responds with the desired behaviour, the skill can be further reinforced by randomising and gradually increasing the time it takes to deliver the reward. This also teaches the dog patience. The following videos demonstrate these 3 basic tools and show how they are used to teach our dogs the basic skills they need.
We're going to use 2 markers today. We're going to use a visual marker of a thumbs up and a verbal marker of the word yes. So this will let Jethro know when he's doing the right thing. So the first step is to introduce Jethro to the marker word. I'm going to say yes and give him some food. Yes, food. Yes, food. Yes, food. So this is letting him know that the word yes and a thumbs up means something good's going to happen. The next step is to start to randomise the time between the yes and the food. Jethro, come. Good boy. Yes. Yes. By gradually increasing the time here, we're teaching Jethro to have a little bit of self-control and to not to start to expect when that food's coming. Yes. Good boy. Very nice. Yes. Good dog. Good man. I can also give other rewards other than food, like a nice scratch behind the ears. Jethro. Sit. Yes. I can then start to use that to mark the appropriate behaviours that I'm getting him to do, such as sit. Yes. Very good. And that's teaching him some nice patience before he gets his reward. Yes. Very good man. First of all, I'm going to take a yummy treat in front of his nose and then draw a circle over the top of his head. Yes. Once he does the behaviour, I'm going to give him his marker and then his reward. Yes. After several repetitions of this, I'm going to include the cue word of sit. Sit. Yes. Very good. Once Jethro has this, the next step is to not actually have the food in my hand as I'm getting him into that position. Jethro, come. Good boy. So I'm still using the same hand gesture. Jethro. Sit. Yes. I still give him his marker and still give him his reward, but that comes separately after that. Very good man. And we'll sit him up again. Jethro. Sit. Yes. Now, as I'm including this new criteria of not having the food lure in my hand, I have to lower my expectations slightly. Yes. And relax my other criterias here. So I'm going to start extending the duration that Jethro is going to sit for before he gets his reward. Jethro, sit. Yes. So I'm going to start off with the treat on his nose, and then I'm going to draw a capital letter L from his nose down to his feet and then forward on the ground. Once his chest and elbows touch the ground, he's going to get his yes and reward. First we go down and then forward. Yes, good boy. Now it's important here that I reward him from the ground because I want his focus to be down on the ground, not on my hand. Because if I reward him from my hand and take my hand back up again, he might follow that hand back up. So let's see that again. Jethro, sit. Yes, good boy. Jethro, down. Yes. So we're going to have a look at capturing the behaviour of sit. Now, the capturing allows the animal to choose to do the right behaviour and for us to reward it once they do it. So I'm not going to ask him to do it, I'm just going to wait for him to offer me that behaviour. And once he does it, then he gets his reward. Yes, good man, very good, very nice. Yes, good boy. Yes. So I can continue to give him his marker and continue to reward him because he's continuing that behaviour. Yes.
This next video demonstrates how we use these training tools with cats, either to pick them up if they're comfortable with it, or lure them back into their condos. If a dog displays an unwanted behaviour, such as jumping up, immediately turn away and withdraw your attention, and then distract the dog or encourage it to engage in an acceptable behaviour by asking it to sit or reward it for having all four paws on the floor. Similarly, remove yourself from a dog or cat that is mouthing, or distract the animal with a treat or toy. Teaching our dogs door and gate manners and being able to enter a pen safely are crucial skills that must be taught. And this is how we do it.
It's really important for us to teach our dogs some appropriate door and gate manners. Yes. The importance of that is to make it easier for us to enter and exit the pens and to keep them safe while we're entering and exiting the pens as well. Yes. It prevents them from escaping and it prevents them from pushing through when we're trying to get in and out. Yes. So I'm starting off by introducing SARS to the marker of yes and a thumbs up. Yes. Just recapping that and helping him get reconnected with working. Yes. And then I'm rewarding SARS for staying in that sit position on the other side of the door. The next step is, as I'm providing him with the reward, I'm going to jiggle the keys in the door. Yes, very good. And that way he learns that sitting happens when the keys jiggle. Yes. The next step is to provide the reward as I start to unlock the door. Yes. Yes. And then I'm going to slightly open the door as I move in. Yes. If he stays in that sitting position, I'm going to give him his reward. And if he pops up out of that sit position, I'm going to simply close the door. Yes, very good. Now, they don't have to get food directly to their hands. You can toss that on the floor for them if they like. Yes, very good. And then if he stays sitting, I'm going to enter the pen nice and quickly and confidently. Yes, very good. So I'm providing that reward as I enter the pen directly to his mouth. And now that I'm in here, yes, I'm going to again reward calm, quiet behaviour. Yes. Yes. And then I pretty much do the same thing in reverse to get myself back out again. I get myself set up at the door, reward the dog for sitting nice and calm and quietly. Yes. And as I exit, I'm going to give the dog a reward for staying away from the door as I exit. And as you can see, I don't have to compete with the dog. The dog's not rushing out. I don't have to block the door with my body, and it's a lot easier for us. So it's really important to teach the dogs to do this when we don't need to do this behaviour. All training should be like a fire drill. We want to practice it when we don't actually need it, so that when we do actually need it, it's going to be a lot easier for us to work with that dog. Yes.
Now I'm going to explain entering and exiting into a pen back of house. So we've got Rusty here. I'm just going to double check the information first. With the kennel card, his name's Rusty. So this matches the 4-paws training chart. As you can see here, his name is Rusty. I'm also only going to be demonstrating the level 1 going in pen at this moment in time. So we can see here that Rusty is a level 1 in pen, clearly marked on the board. So yeah, coming up to Rusty, it's quite calm. I'm going to just achieve some 4 paws with him, which is either him sitting calmly or just those 4 paws on the ground. Just going to give him some food. He's doing really well. Throwing some food in. Let's encourage him to have his 4 paws on the ground. Yes. Yes. I can also give him some food through these cracks in the bars. Yes. Yes. Once I'm feeling comfortable and confident that I can go in safely, I'm going to remove the safety latch off our pens and just place them next to the latch itself. I'm going to also put my foot down for safety, and I'm going to actually swing the door in towards Rusty as I'm walking in. First of all, I'm just going to offer him some food to distract him while I'm about to walk in. So, food to the back, put my foot out, going to swing the door out, pin up, and drop it. Okay? This is a safety mechanism. If the dog does jump up, it's going to stop that door from swinging towards me. I'm now just going to throw a giant or a big handful of food to the back. This will get Rusty to the back of the pen and I can go in safely. Go back out. If you happen to be working in a shelter where the door only swings outwards, be really careful that the dog doesn't come running out. In this instance, use a lot of food and reward your dog to the back.
There are many other things we can do apart from training to reduce stress in our shelter animals. Broadly, they fall into 4 categories. Firstly, making them comfortable by providing the physical necessities of life, making sure they have food and water, a bed, a clean environment, and enough room to express normal behaviours. 2, providing companionship with both animals of their own kind and humans. We can take them on play dates or walks with other dogs, or spend time with them in their pens, patting or giving them a massage. 3, providing positive stimulation to reduce boredom. This includes training, walks, outings to new places, as well as toy and food enrichment. And finally, reducing unwanted stimulation that can lead to unwanted arousal. Small things matter if each contributes 1 candle of stress. This dog is highly aroused. We can reduce his arousal by not walking directly past his kennel, and when walking him, keeping a good distance between unfamiliar dogs. Other ways to reduce arousal include covering cages, closing doors gently, using pheromone sprays, providing calming background music, lowering voices, and allowing animals to approach first. Use these level 1 skills in every interaction you have with animals. Practice skills that are known to be needed and whatever else presents itself. Start by interacting with dogs and cats at wire. That is, when you are outside the pen or condo and interacting with the animal through the wire. Then interact with them inside the pen before trying to interact with them when they are outside of their pen, on a walk, or outside their condo. Before opening a pen or condo door, always read the signage on the cage door and note the animal's body language. The next video shows how to interact with cats.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is check the paperwork of the cat to make sure that it is safe for me to enter and any other information that I might need to know. Looking through that. So his name is Red Foo. So the next thing I want to do is check the condition of the pen to make sure that it's safe for me to enter. So I'm looking for anything that could be suspect, so any diarrhea, any blood in the pen. There doesn't appear to be any, so I think I should be okay. The next thing I want to do is introduce myself to the cat, so I'm just going to put my finger to the wire, let the cat sniff my finger, and I can scratch him through the wire if he wants me to. Hey kitty. Hello. Hello Red Foo. And you can just talk to them softly. Hello. Once you feel it's safe to enter, you can open up the condo door. Then you can offer your hand and let the cat sniff your hand. And straight away he's rubbing my hand, which is really nice. So I'm just taking my hand away every couple of seconds just to give the cat a bit of a break between pats. So I'm not going to overstimulate him with any extra pats. Hello kitty. Hello. And I'm just scratching him under his chin or on the side of his face. If this cat was to back away, we would stop the interactions and not pat him any further. See you, Red Foo. See you, buddy.
The next videos show how to interact with level 1 dogs.
Sit. Sit. Yes, good job. Owen. Okay. Latch comes off. Sit. Yes. Up and over the top. Latch on the door. Latch up. Going to slide in. Good job. Yes. Thank you. Down. Oh, good cow. That's it. Yes, good cow. Yes, good cow, Owen. Hello. Good cow. That's it. Good cow.
Throughout this interaction, I'm observing Arwen's body language. I'm taking my time and I'm rewarding all positive behaviours. Now Arwen is calm and focused, I'll lure her head through the harness. By doing this, I create a positive association with having a harness fitted. I'm using lure and reward techniques to position myself on the clip side of the harness. Notice how I'm reaching under her to fit the harness. Never lean over the dog. you should be able to put 2 fingers between the harness and the dog once it's clipped together.
Yes, good girl. Sit again.
Always clip the lead to both the harness and the collar loop.
Yeah, good girl. Good girl.
Before I exit the pen with Arwen, I'll wait for her to sit or offer calm behaviour with 4 paws on the ground.
Not coming out.
Make sure you are well prepared for the walk. You need plenty of treats and a good supply of poo bags to clean up after your dog on the walk. Some shelters have an off-lead area for dogs. At Wacol there is a sensory walk where dogs can be encouraged to explore new and stimulating surroundings. Such activities really help shelter dogs to de-stress. It's important to make the walk as stimulating as possible, as well as allow them to sniff and exhibit normal dog behaviours. After a stimulating walk, it's important to help the dog relax by giving them an in-pen massage or food enrichment toy.
This video has covered a lot of important information. This information is also detailed for your reference in the accompanying handbook. Please read the handbook carefully and refer back to it as often as needed to be sure you fully understand how to work safely with Level 1 animals. Once you have practiced and feel confident using these techniques, you can move on to learning the techniques for safely handling more difficult animals. Together, we can make a difference for all the animals in our care.